All right, so today I have Dr. Eddie Conner Jr. on the line, and let me just tell you, I was trying to get the intro right for Eddie. Does a lot of things, has a lot of books out, a lot of things under his belt, but today we're going to be talking about his new book that just was released yesterday. Depending on when you're listening to this, it was released yesterday, and it's called 2020 Vision: How to See Beyond What You See and Transform Your Reality. Eddie, welcome back to the show.
So glad to be back on your program, and the reunion is right in effect.
Reunion 2020, I love it. I can't wait to see what happens in 2020. Did you name that book for my reunion episode? No, you didn't. Come on, thank you.
I was forward thinking. That's that foresight.
I'm in. I'll take it all day long, and it matches the promo we're gonna do on this 2020. Well, Eddie, let's just jump right in. I mean, what was the inspiration for this book?
Well, I think one of the inspirations for this was the whole aspect of how to transform vision into action. I really believe a vision without action is hallucination. And people don't plan to fail, they just fail to plan. And I think you have to have a plan, you have to have a vision, but you also have to implement action, and then you've got to break the glass ceiling. The most dangerous place is not walking on water. It's staying in the boat. And so you've got to forsake the familiar, overcome the fear, and get uncomfortable with being comfortable and get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And
so some of the things that you're going to cover in this book, so I want to give a good feel, because I think, well, first off, your timing of the book is just perfect. Obviously, the title, 2020, we're in 2020, but that's the obvious. I think when we think of new beginnings and new starts and being at a new decade, a new year, all these things that are adding up to, I think, whether it's because it's perceived or it's reality, to me, it doesn't matter. The point is people can make some changes in their life right now. So looking beyond why or how they can, it's just they're receptive right now. The Common Collective is receptive right now to allow for some big changes to happen in people's lives. So when I saw your book, I'm excited. I wanted to talk specifically about your chapter on adjusting your vision. Can you go into that one a little bit for us?
Absolutely. And, really with the book, the question becomes, how do I see clearly when life becomes blurry? And so manifesting your purpose, forsaking familiar, walking by faith, transforming the vision of what you see into reality, adjusting your vision. I wear glasses, and I realized I didn't start with glasses until I was a freshman in college, so I was kind of late in the game. But I realized that, whether or not I wear glasses, I have sight. Me watching the game, I can see the players, but I can't see the score. Wearing my glasses gives me focus, and now focus enhances my vision. And so in many cases with that, beyond just having sight, you've got to have insight. You've got to have a place to where not only do you see what you're looking at, but you have an action plan and a step to seize what you're going after. And so being able to see beyond what you see, having the 3D vision, so to speak, for your plan, for your goal, for your life, for your family, your relationships. I think that is absolutely pertinent. And that's why I give pragmatic strategies, implementation, instruction of how to go about manifesting that vision.
Now, obviously, we're not going to have time to go through all of them on this. And by the way, for everybody listening, that's what you call a cliffhanger. Go out and buy this man's book. It's good. He knows what he's talking about. But let's just give him a little bit more of a teaser as well. Eye of the Tiger. Come on, let's get into that one.
Eye of the Tiger.
And that's chapter 7 for everybody listening. Sorry, I should have prefaced that. I just pulled that out of nowhere. I'm looking at the table of contents, flipping through the book, and Eye of the Tiger, for obvious reasons. I played that for many years. When I wake up some days, I might start doing that again in 2020. That gets me pumped up. That's a morning song for me. All right, Eddie, go.
Absolutely. It's got popularized with the whole Rocky series. It's actually antithetical because, when you say eye of the tiger, you put it right in the crosshairs of your vision, you go after it. But actually a tiger is born blind. It's born blind for about 3 or 4 weeks, and then it begins to gain sight. And when it begins to have sight, it can literally see miles ahead and even almost around the corner. And I think in many cases it's synonymous to our lives because so many times we go through life being blind. We're blind to our purpose. We're blind to our vision. We're blind to who we are. And a lot of times we believe what we have defines who we are. Not what you have, it's who you are. And you got to know who you are and whose you are, or you'll just be void of purpose. And understanding a job is what you're paid for, but your vision and your purpose and your calling is what you're made for. And so I really wanted to give people the whole aspect of how to come into the realization, the awareness, not being blind to your future, but actually moving ahead and opening your eyes to the greatness of who you are and how to go after it and make that vision and that dream your reality.
So steps for a 2020 vision. We're not obviously we don't have time to get into all of them today, but so this book also includes a roadmap or a plan for people to be able to achieve. Correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And what does that look like? What kind of program is that? Just to give them a little bit more framework.
Well, absolutely. In the book, I give 20 steps of how to transform that vision into your reality. I give you 20 thematic steps. This is an ancillary aspect, which is towards the end of the book, of actually summarization, but actually what to do throughout your, not just year, but also this new decade of how to make it happen. Because one is just be a goal-getter. That's one of the 20 strategies. And it's interesting that only 5% of Americans write down their goals. But out of the 5 that do, the 5% that do, 95% of the time they end up completing it. They end up accomplishing it. Because it's more than just writing down the goals, also an action plan steps. This is what I do every day. This is what I'm doing throughout the course of my 6 months that I have to achieve that specific goal. But also you got to get aligned. You got to get around people who are goal-getters. If you're an eagle, you can't surround yourself with chickens. You can't surround yourself with people who are clucking and gossiping and talking about everything that they're about to do. They're flapping their wings, but they actually never mount up on wings as an eagle. And so, personally, this 2020 marks 20 years of me being a cancer survivor. To be diagnosed with cancer as a teenager and to have been told what I couldn't do, what I couldn't become, what I couldn't overcome, told I'd never go to college, but to find the first 3 letters in cancer spells can. You can overcome, you can survive. And I had to have a vision for healing while I was sick. I had to have a vision for higher education while I was told that I wasn't going to graduate. I had to have a vision for my life when everything around me was blurry and I had to see beyond what I see. So this is more than just title than words and just a buzz phrase. 2020 vision is going to be on everybody's lips. But, as you get this in your hand, it'll really become a product and a part of your life.
And so the way I see your steps, I mean, how long do you think it takes somebody to go through these steps? And I don't mean make a complete transformation, but I just mean in terms of framework. So obviously it's a life journey, and we always I'll give you an example. The setting the goals one, I've set so many goals and I've done that so many times, and I was caught off guard. Mid last year, somebody asked me a very pointed question on a goal or my goals, and I was like, I haven't written my goals down in a year and a half, and I forgot. And I'm like, wait a minute, I talk about this, I do this all the time, and how did I get caught going a year and a half, losing a little bit of direction in certain things in my life? Because I didn't write them down. I didn't put because they change, right, over time. They change as you grow. You become a new person. You go in different directions, have new interests, and I'm like, I'm caught off guard. So circling back to year 2020, how long, so if somebody's picking up this book and they're thinking about, okay, great, I'm looking for a program, I'm looking for some steps to take that are a structured framework, because that's what I see your book as, a structured framework on self-improvement. How long does a typical person take to get through those 20 steps?
Well, I think it's about how bad do you want it. And, I think Fannie Lou Hamer, one of the great civil rights advocates of the 20th century, said, you got to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so I think this is really I wrote this to really become the course of someone's year. And I think this is a great step for the 366 days, because it's more, we get an extra day this year because it's a leap year. And I really wanted people to leap into their vision, leap into their purpose, jump into the joy of what it is that they can be and what they can step into. And so I would think that this is something within the first 6 months and then throughout the course of the year that you can continue to look at, that you can continue to refine, that you can continue to rehash and even hold yourself accountable. This is a book that I'm going to ruffle your feathers, that I'm going to challenge you, that I'm going to stretch your faith, that I'm going to get you to think. You're going to laugh, you're going to cry, you're going to smile. You're going to really be challenged to change. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And so I wanted you to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And this is a book that shakes you up out of the lethargy and really puts you into your identity and the vision of your reality.
Man, that's exciting. So, Eddie, where can everybody pick up a copy of this?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I like to say the revolution will not only be televised, it'll be digitized. So they can go to my website. It's eddieconnor.com, EDDIECONNOR.com. They get a personalized copy from me that I autograph. But then again, you want to get it as an ebook. You want to get it even as an audiobook, 4.5 hours of power of me talking to you as I am now, more of a conversation. And then also as a hard copy, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, iTunes, Audible, wherever books are sold, you can pick it up and download it there.
Man, that's awesome. Well, hey, Eddie, really appreciate you coming back for this reunion 2020 episode. Excited to have you back in 2021. See what you got cooking then also.
Yeah.
I can already see we're going to have some more good combos going forward. To everybody listening, hey, go pick up this book. It's the real deal. Eddie is the real deal. 2020 Vision, How to See Beyond What You See and Transform Your Reality. Checking it out now. Definitely something for you to use throughout the year for the framework of what you plan on doing to reach your goals, but then also to be a reference as the years go on. This isn't one of those you're going to read once and just leave it on the shelf. This is one of those you're going to want to keep on reflecting on and digging deeper on. Every time you go through it, you're going to get something new. So, hey, Eddie, again, thank you for coming on. And to the audience, don't forget, subscribe to the podcast. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. We had a lot of fun bringing it to you, and we want you to continue to follow along and to learn together. Eddie, thank you again for coming on.
I appreciate you, bro. Thanks so much.